Hello, I'm Viktor Krauss. I'm here to talk about some of the instruments that we used on the Heather Bond track Ich Weiss Nicht. A really fun track to produce and co-write with Heather. And here, I'll show you what we did. Although we didn't record Ich Weiss Nicht in this space, a great deal of these instruments were used on that track as well as the rest of Heather's record. I am an avid collector of old synthesizers and effect pedals and guitars. I always feel like they spark some kind of creativity. Heather and I wrote almost the entire record from this 1972 or 73 Fender Rhodes here. It always was kind of an inspiration. We actually, the first day that we were paired to write, we wrote Fountain of Youth on this particular piano. How this song, how Ich Weiss Nicht was different, we decided to write from this bass here. This is my default instrument of choice. It's a John Juzek bass from the Czech Republic from about 1946. I've used this instrument in the studio pretty much since '95, but have owned it I think longer than Heather has been alive. It's a fantastic sounding instrument, mainly because of its very pointed mid-range. I've been told from a few engineers that this is the EQ-less bass, meaning it needs no kind of tonal shaping in the studio. And it really has been a great instrument for me. The recorded sound on this instrument, we had actually intended this to be a scratch bass part, and we ended up liking it so much that this is what you hear on the recording. So all you hear, it's not a mic'd signal, it's this old Fishman BP100 going through an old Demeter vacuum tube DI. So that's our bass sound. I love drum machines too. Our next step was to assemble a drum track. This one was really a lot of fun. We used quite a bit of old machines here, including this TR-808, this CR-78, which is a fantastic old machine that you're probably familiar with for the intro of Heart of Glass by Blondie, or In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. We also used this crazy early digital Dynacord ADD-1 German drum machine, which is perfectly fitting for Ich Weiss Nicht. It makes it sound exactly like Kraftwerk. We also used this Maestro Rhythm King, along with a TR-33 drum machine. And there's a couple other ones on there I have to remember by the track list, but this was really a lot of fun. We later then had John O'Ricks play acoustic drums on it, which of course worked beautifully. I loved putting the guitar tracks on this particular song. It was almost like casting a bunch of characters in a short story or movie. We have the Malcolm Young signature Gretsch duo jet, which was kind of the rowdy kind of rock and roll sound that you hear kind of throughout the song, just mainly doubling the bass part and then doing a couple power chords. The Fender Jaguar was kind of a little bit of a tip the hat of Motown, almost kind of like that classic, little chink sound that happens in select spots. And this Fenandes sustainer, which is basically a Stratocaster with a sustainer circuit placed in it. It's almost like having an EBO stuck in there, which you can kind of mimic synthesizer sounds, and all sorts of crazy effects. And they have a harmonic that sits an octave high, partials or midway, or it's just a fun toy in a lot of ways. Here's the Gretsch Malcolm Young soloed. There's 3 of them. Here's the Jaguar. We might have actually recorded this direct just to try to get as clean of a sound as possible. So those are the Sustainiac guitar parts through this guy right here, the Fuzz Tone. Where we're hearing the upper partials now. After the guitars, we continued with more details. This is a great old EB-3 bass, which I then in turn either would do kind of little licks or double the bass in a couple spots. We also then used this fantastic Fender pedal bass from the early 1970s. It's just one of my favorite bass sounds in the whole world. And we just kind of a little crazy with a little bit of details. I'll play you some of this. Here's the pedal bass. One's for the subwoofer. And here's the core Juzek bass part through some kind of lo-fi treatment and panning. And here's the EB-3. For keyboards, we used just a select few on this particular recording. Again, it was kind of all centered around the bass part. We doubled a couple sections, I think mainly in the do-to-do-to-do sections. We used this old Moog Multimoog, as well as this Roland JX8p, which I've had forever, just on a couple spots. The ever-present Solina string ensemble. It works everywhere, and I'm almost embarrassed to say how much I use it, because it almost gets on everything, but it's perfect almost every time. So it's on there, and and most importantly, the most incredible machine ever. Total badass machine, if I so should dare using that term. Here it is. The Shoenhut Toy Piano. Slaying everything in sight. But it's perfect for this song. It's always fun revisiting these tracks. This is kind of all the detail elements without the main bass part and the vocal, but it's just kind of interesting to see how everything connects. Thanks again for checking out some of the behind-the-scenes instruments from the Weiss Nicht single. If you are interested in what Heather is doing and any more details on the upcoming record and the single, visit her website at www.heatherbondmusic.com, or more on me at www.viktorkrauss.com. Thanks.
There is no way to